Have you ever recorded a bunch of footage and then you're ready to edit thinking that you've got some good video, only to take it to the editing situation and realize that it's noisier than what you wanted? You could get mad at the fact that basically you wish you had a more expensive camera that can perform better in low light and give up and try again. But sometimes we don't have that convenience. But what if I told you you can actually improve the footage even on older cameras and then make it look like it performed great in low light and you never messed it up with high ISO settings? Welcome. I'm going to show you how to do that. My name is Magnus. I'm going to show you how to take old looking footage, specifically what you see here recorded with the 5D Mark IV back in 2018, and revive it to make it look like you shot it with the right settings on, which sometimes we're not all what we need to be. Now in this example, I'm going to show you footage that was recorded in 2018. Now, 2018, obviously I had this YouTube channel still running and I knew my settings, but I was working with an associate that really didn't care about setting up the camera. He asked me, what are the camera settings? I just gave him the camera, I said record, and he did. Unfortunately, I did not check to see that the camera was on auto ISO mode, which means it was correcting for low light, and this was a dark theater. So it didn't work out like we wanted. So he's recording a lot of BTS stuff, and unfortunately, when it got dark, everything turned incredibly grainy. And with the 5D Mark IV recording 4K at the time, that 4K was actually cropped 1.74 times, so even larger crop than an APS-C sensor, which in turn makes the low light performance in that camera even worse than if it was full frame. So with that footage, I knew I couldn't use it for what I would want to use it for like little backstage montage and whatever, like BTS stuff. So I never trashed the footage. I kept the footage for years. And then I thought about something. Is there a way to recover that footage and actually make it look good so I could show you guys? Because it's no longer necessary to use that footage. But I would like to test it to see what I can recover off the 5D Mark IV and show you guys how I did it, because the results, as you see here, were night and day. And I was able to recover a lot of that footage that was lost. Without further ado, let's get to the computer in Adobe Premiere Pro. In Premiere Pro, I actually did an install of this software called Neat Video, which you can actually use in Premiere Pro. Now, the noise reduction in Premiere Pro isn't something that I actually like to use in the software. I needed to put this add-on because I think it works a lot better. Davinci Resolve actually has its own noise reduction when you pay the full version for the Davinci Resolve Studio. So that, I'll show you a brief introduction to that as well, but here's how you can recover footage. Now, what you see on the screen is incredibly noisy. I don't know how bad it'll look on YouTube, so I'm just gonna make this a little bigger so you can see in the footage it's got a lot of noise, a lot of static. It basically looks unusable. The ISO levels on the 5D Mark IV were apparently as high as they possibly could because the camera was trying to adjust for the low light situation in the theater and get people's faces into exposure. That's just kind of the way it works when you have it on auto ISO. So what we want to do is apply Neat Video to this footage and then tell it how to apply the noise reduction in this footage, and then you'll see the transformation happen pretty quickly. What I'll do is I'll type in Neat Video in the effects panel. I just type Neat and it's already here. Now this, what it's going to do, I'm going to apply it here to actually the footage. You can't see it, but it's being applied to the footage in the background. And it gives me a couple of different options that I have to activate in order to activate the noise reduction. First, we're going to go to Prepare. Now what Prepare does is it looks at the frames of your video to get a full sample to be ready to apply the noise reduction. Now you got to give that a second tab that says Build. Now what Build is going to do is like, all right, it got the sample, so now it's going to display it and show you the different colors that are being displayed in your video. It shows you those samples in the bottom of the frame, but what you've got to do is use anywhere in the frame where there's not a lot of interference, where it's basically the same in all three color panels, because if you use a sample like where it's very different, it's very difficult for the software to tell what's noise versus what is like a person or an item that is no noise. So because I've got a good section here where it's really the noise pattern is pretty clean, and I chose as big of a section as I possibly could, you're going to see that it's going to stay simple. I'm just going to hit build profile. And what build profile does, it just analyzes the noise and then recommends a setting of noise reduction and a strength for your footage. After hitting that, I'm going to hit apply. And now you're going to see, with a couple seconds, because it's pretty processor intensive, the noise has basically just gone away. Now, it's not perfect. I mean, you might get a little blotches here and there, but it doesn't really interfere with the quality of the footage that you're trying to produce. And with that being said, that's all it took to do noise reduction. Now, a couple caveats. Because you're applying this noise reduction, it's going to be, again, processor and GPU intensive. So smooth playback of the footage is going to be difficult, almost impossible to do without a super beefy computer, because it's really processing that noise reduction frame by frame. Render times will also be multiplied at least by 2 or more to be able to output that footage cleanly. But you still have that ability to do it should you need to reduce the noise. I found that using this type of noise reduction has actually helped me with like the Blackmagic cinema cameras that are really not great in low light, but I still want to use that footage and push the ISO as much as I can. It helps with getting it clean too, even though it's older. So that's why I kind of adopted a principle of no matter what, get the footage that you need, no matter what you're setting, so that you can have something usable. And if noise is too much, you have options to reduce that noise in post. Yes, it affects your sharpness somewhat, but would you rather have the footage or have something unusable in post because you didn't record it with the right exposure? And I will say this, it's easier to recover noise than it is to recover something that's low exposure and basically you killed all the detail. And that's my opinion. Now we're going to jump over to Davinci Resolve. So now jumping into Davinci Resolve, I'm going to show you similar noise reduction settings, though I'm no expert, but it still works just as well, if not better, if you know what you're doing. Let's jump in. So in Davinci Resolve, I've actually gone to the color tab in the bottom right. Now from the color tab, I go all the way to this last tab right here that says motion effects. Now in motion effects, you'll be able to apply noise reduction. Now I'm going to choose better, but not best, because it's going to be a little bit too processor intensive and take a long time. I had one 4-minute render actually take 14 hours once because I had blown up these settings incredibly. In the second option, motion range, I also put it at medium as well. In the temporal threshold, I'm also keeping those close to 50, maybe a little bit more aggressive, maybe 75. Again, tweak these settings to whatever would work for you. Under spatial noise reduction or spatial NR, I'm going to put it under enhanced. The very last option is actually an enhanced AI noise reduction type of selection. I do not choose that because that takes incredibly long. Like when I told you that the rendering took like super long, it did a good job, great job in fact, with the noise reduction, comparable to what I was able to get in Adobe Premiere with Neat Video. But this one was just forever. Really good though. Now under Luma and Chroma, I get them up to 50 to 75 and just kind of go it from there. You do too aggressive and your footage is going to look too soft and it won't be as sharp. You don't do it enough and you're still going to have a lot of that noise, which you may desire, but it allows you to tweak it as you desire. From before I had these settings until now, you can see that the footage looks a lot cleaner in this one frame. And of course, you output it and you've got a much improved result from the original footage, what it used to be. And that's not what you want. But that's it. I was excited with the fact that I could actually rescue this old legacy footage and bring it back into relevance. What's cool is that there's actually one kid who was actually in this little theater presentation. His name is Kevin Chacon, and he was in Jessica Jones season 2, and he'll also be in Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney+. So that's pretty exciting for Kevin. And it's awesome that I was able to recover this old footage of him right after he was already on Jessica Jones. He's a cool guy. Definitely check him out and look him up. That's all I got to say about that. Do you have any questions about what I just showed you? I didn't get into too many details because I wanted to just get straight to the point, and the fact that you can actually use old cameras and even cameras that don't have good low light performance and still rescue that footage. And that makes me believe that the low light performance on many cameras, especially if they're high resolution, doesn't really matter if you know how to recover in post, though it's easier to just not have to do that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you later.